is it?
And we are back.
Back.
It's
been a while. Yeah, a month.
There's been a month. There's been a major. There's been a COVID outbreak.
That was rough.
We've had a rough month.
Really rough.
In some ways. And
No,
a great
it's been
month
great
for others.
actually, but that COVID spat was miserable.
It was no joke. Yeah, literally the last day that we filmed, you and I both got it. Same day. Took us down.
Yeah, it was so
Harpooned us.
bad. Oh, I was out for the count.
Wiped.
I was gonna die.
Wiped. But we're back. We're excited to be back. Actually, a little forced breaks. Never really a bad thing, is it?
No, I think it was time. I think this kind of time of year when there's not a lot of new equipment coming out, it's kind of almost a bit of a slow point. So it was nice just you get to go home to the motherland. And
Motherland.
it was nice just taking a little break from it, for sure. A little refresh.
A little refresh. Yep, and we're back at it, full of fresh vigour and plenty to talk about after the weekend. Did you watch much of it, or were you working? Were you contenting?
I didn't watch any of it actually.
Did you not?
I flew home yesterday from BC,
of course.
so I was on an airplane
Yeah.
during the final round. But other than that, I didn't really tune in. I was just out playing a lot of golf.
It was a sickener, wasn't it? Well, are you a Rory fan?
I feel like it's hard not to be right
Yeah.
now. It would have been if there was ever a year for him to pull that one out, it was probably this one that needed to happen. So
Yeah, it had to happen.
It's
Yep.
too bad the way. I mean, Cam Smith is a good, I guess, consolation prize, I guess, for a win. But
I don't think Cam Smith never got the script, did he? I mean, the whole week, it seemed so destined that Rory was going to win. He never got a chance to play in 15. He obviously had that terrible one round in 2010 that knocked him out in the weather, turned on him, and he ended up shooting 80. Even the sort of the side plot of Tiger's walk up 18 coincided with Rory's walk down 1. There was all these storylines to the whole thing. It's just like it was meant to be. And one thing I will say, on the range, if it was a game of how good do we hit it on the range, Rory would lap the field by a dozen.
yeah, no, I think he's the floodgates are going to open soon. I have a feeling that he's going to get one, and that's just going to be like 5 years of domination. I personally think. I think it's hard not to see that happening.
It is indeed. Tough one to swallow for the Rory fans. Cam Smith obviously played, incredible golf on Friday and Sunday. I mean, what did he go? 60, 64, 64?
Yeah, it was something crazy, something close to that. It wasn't maybe 64, but very close, yeah.
Incredible. It really, really was. So just left Rory with too much to do. I mean, obviously got off to a solid start, 1 under in the front, and then just couldn't really get the pedal down. Made good birdie in 10, but
he needed to make a few more putts for sure.
He did. The problem was, St Andrews' problem isn't St Andrews. If you don't hit it close,
tricky to make them.
It's tricky to make them. So, I mean, he obviously had a few looks at birdies, but he was kind of hitting into safe spots a lot. And whereas Cam Smith got hot and then rode that hot hand, and now it seems like he's going to ride that hot hand all the way to live.
That's what they're saying, but I guess they've been wrong before. We'll see. I guess until we see the actual announcement. I don't know if there's just been so much hearsay on there that you just never know what to believe nowadays. So
the Morikawa one, you guys were saying there was a rumor on Spieth as well.
Yeah, Spieth had to come out and say something. I think it's I mean, there certainly hasn't been. There's been a lot of kind of right predictions as well, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe his win yesterday changes things for him. Who knows? We don't know.
Maybe he changes it in favour of Liv. I mean, maybe it makes the check bigger. That
you never know
as well. Julian's asking, where did you get your hat?
This hat is from Bear Mountain.
Your home from home.
My home away from home golf course out in Victoria, British Columbia. So they have a few different colours in it, and big fan of the Bear hat.
Big fan of the Bear. Big fan of the Bear. Tommy is heartbroken. Tommy, you're not alone, my friend.
Yeah, there's a few
also heartbroken. I mean, I remember back in 2009 when Stuart Sink won the Open at Turnberry, and it felt like that was, Tom Watson was going to win that. 59 years old, gets that horrendous bounce on the 18th green literally hit a rock in the middle of the green and bounced through. That one actually, if that one stung, yesterday stung me more than the Tom Watson one. It just felt like Rory should have won that one.
Yeah, it was his to win, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Ryan is asking, or Mr. Barath himself, does the Bear still have his Mac hat?
I hope he does.
Somewhere.
He's a big boy.
Somewhere. He's wearing it while he's up to all sorts. Do we need some? We need some Ronnie back in that.
I haven't seen Ronnie since I was fitting here back in the day. I haven't seen him in a while.
Ronnie will be back. I think Ronnie was supposed to come back actually before we kind of had our little break there. So I think it's very likely you'll see Ronnie Boy back in the next few weeks. So, Mr. Who Cares, Ronnie will be back. Let's see. Kevin S. Can a shaft change influence a shot shape, i.e. hitting a cut while one to hit a draw, or is that more swing mechanics? Definitely more swing mechanics, but it can help, and it can influence. I mean, there are some shaft design characteristics that can help. I mean, balance point is one that can change, the release of the player. Ultimately, you're trying to influence the release of the player or the delivery of the player in order to kind of manipulate the face-to-path relationship. But, it definitely can help it, Kevin. That's for sure. This is one. I've got to get into this. Ian Fuhr, great long-time customer. Ian is asking, did I ever get my clubs back from Air Canada?
It's a negative.
Negative. Nothing. I'm actually flying to Atlanta tomorrow to try to see if I can find them in an Atlanta airport.
I want to see you. I want to see a video of you rummaging around in the lost baggage.
I'm actually gonna
you're gonna put on your Sorelli hikers and just get in there.
Just getting amongst it.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna put on my boxing gloves and getting amongst it. But
that airport's huge too. They probably have so much.
It is, but I do know kind of the right place to go, because when we were flying back from Atlanta and I was checking in for my flight, I'd said to the Air Canada employee, I said, listen, my club's never made it down on the way here. I've got some time for the flight. Is there somewhere I can go and look? So she literally walked me down to the room where Air Canada keep all the bags and stuff. So I do know exactly where to go, and I'm hoping, they've said something like, a label may have fallen off. I'm hoping they're sitting there.
Oh, it's wild. It's wild.
We'll see. So no, don't have them back yet, Ian.
Mac, how do you decide whether to sling one or cut one, and why? There's lots of different reasons for things. A lot of time it's what I feel most comfortable based on the lie. If the ball's below my feet, above my feet, from a fairway, pin to the left, pin to the right, trouble left, trouble right. So there's a lot of different factors, but actually wind direction. So there's not really one recipe, I would say, but I normally like to sling it over like hazards or stuff like that, and then away from it. Yeah. But obviously it all can change based on wind. So
for sure. Patrick, we do not have sick arm lock putters available for fitting. Mikey and I called the guys at Sick. We tried to introduce ourselves to them, and we kind of said we were a club fitting company up in Canada. We've got a YouTube channel. We do some reviews, etc. And the guy went, "Oh, so you're a golf club? You're a green grass account?" And there was literally zero interest in opening our account when we phoned them. So we don't have sick putters.
There we go.
Needless to say. Just too bad, because they are good.
Yeah, I heard they're good.
Let's see. Sounds like there's a few stories in here of Air Canada losing some
that's what I'm reading.
Some clubs. There's one. Have we tested the new Stealth UDI?
I had it in my hands no more than 15 minutes ago.
Yep.
For the first time.
I saw some kind of glimpses of people having them built last week, and just had to have one. just built myself one over the weekend.
Right from the demo matrix.
Right from the demo matrix. You guys don't need to
need
that one anyway.
It's pretty sweet though. Yeah,
Pretty sweet.
it's definitely felt good.
Yeah. No, it's good. Sounds good, feels good. It's good. One for Mac. Ross H is asking, you mentioned hitting shot shape, swinging along your foot line, moving path. Is it possible to hit a cut keeping my into out swing path? I've spent a long time getting consistent.
To actually cut the ball, you need an out in path to put that side spin from right. But what people don't understand is when I aim super open, it's more of actually a push fade. It's
That's
not.
right.
It looks like I'm going to pull it hard down my foot line, but really I'm not as steep and across it as what my feet. It's just my feel, I guess.
The benefit of playing a round ball game is the ball doesn't care how we stand to the golf ball. So when Max stands, square, perpendicular to the target line, makes those makes the train tracks like we're all taught when we first start the game, from their alignment line to their foot line or your body alignment lines, and you swing that line, you'll come from the inside.
Yeah.
You just take those lines and you shift them, well, for you, right, and that's what shifts your path from out to in. You don't need to make a different swing at it.
No, it's a very similar swing. Yeah.
It's the exact same swing. The only difference is your face angle, your face control moves relative to that path.
Right.
So your face stays more open, and that's what creates the curve. But it's your confidence to aim off line that allows you to shape it so much. The people who have less success are the people that try to make it basically stand in the same way and try and either go that way or swing more from the inside.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
You're going to have a really hard time, making that consistent.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, when they ask like what my kind of main things are when I do put shapes on the shots, it's always stance at the start. It's setup. Setup is huge for me.
Totally. Ryan's asking, Ian, what was the most impressive thing you saw at the Open? Rory McIlroy.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, the sound of his striking. Everyone's good. The sound of his striking is so much better than everyone else.
Different league.
Different league. As I said at the start, if it was a game of who's best on the range or range golf, world number one by a million miles. And actually, interestingly enough, I did not find Scotty Scheffler impressive on the range at all.
No way.
I did not. Like,
kind of scrapey.
He just wasn't kind of striking it all that solid, and obviously played okay.
I think he's a guy like Jordan Spieth almost. He's he's a different variance of Jordan Spieth. Kind of just gets it done. He knows how to golf his ball and get it in the hole.
Totally. He can play the game.
Yeah, he can play the game.
Totally.
Super chat.
Okay, let's grab that from Chris.
Chris asks, if my 9-iron is adjusted a 1/4 degree upright, should the lie angle adjustment progress through long irons?
Chris, it really depends. We talked a little bit about this recently, about how we find. What are you laughing? Is that one for you?
Yeah, I'll answer the next one.
Ban. Get out of there, ban. So certain people, especially if they're a little bit over the top, tend to pull short irons left, and because they're over the top, they tend to cut them out to the right. So what they tend to need is more upright long irons and flatter short irons. So you can tend to actually find, if a 4-iron is at 61 degrees as standard and a pitching wedge is at 64 degrees live standard, you might end up with them all at 62.
Right.
And that really works nicely for some people. But I really think if you're struggling with your shapes, just go to a club fitter and try and go through the process of testing every single club. Go through the process of hitting your 4 or 5 iron through to sand wedge or whatever it might be, lob wedge, and then literally just move your lie angle for whatever that club needs to be. It doesn't need to be in a specific progression. There's no rules to that.
Yeah, no rules.
Definitely.
What are a few keys for people starting to share content in social media? Post a lot, be consistent.
Yeah.
I would say are the two. I didn't have a clue what I was doing when I first started out. Ian had already always kind of pushed me to maybe start my own channel. Just had a different way of playing the game and something I could showcase. So I was just myself, posted a lot, and used people that can kind of help you and you can learn more from, and get featured on and that kind of thing. Just get your name out there as much as possible. That's kind of all I've done.
Totally.
Make as many friends as you can in the industry.
Yeah, I mean, I think collaboration is very, very strong, especially in the early stages, when you're trying to grow. Friend at Mizuno, Dave Matthews, calls it tribe acquisition. When you're basically going from, you've got your following, we've got our following, you've got whoever else has got their following, and you kind of merge everything together. That definitely will help. But like Max says, be consistent. Don't be consumed about being too fancy. I think that's one thing gets in a lot of people's way. If you have to use a sling rag, use a sling rag.
And that's the thing, is like people are always asking what I film on. I have not opened a laptop, this is dead serious, in 10 years, like since school. Do everything from my cell phone. It's low budget, but I've kind of been so consistent telling a story and kind of just sticking to what my brand, I guess, is, which is just me being myself. Key is just don't try too hard. I think that's the moral of the story. Don't try too hard, just be yourself, post a lot, enjoy what you're doing.
Totally. Well, I mean, I think you being yourself is working, because Srixon wants to be your friend. He's asking, Mac, want to be friends?
We can be friends, Srixon.
Connery?
Is this fuzzy for a reason?
Let me check the boys. Boys, can you see the stream? On our screen, it's super fuzzy.
I don't know.
Okay.
Is that internet?
Okay. Well, guys, apologies if it's coming through fuzzy. We will. Actually, not much we can do, but if it's the internet speed, but we'll do what we can to see if we can. Maybe should we jump off, rejoin?
We could. Now it seems like it looks fine now.
Okay, good.
I've turned off my internet. I'll turn it off
Okay.
now.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea.
Turn off.
All right, Matthew, Ian, has the supply chain issues improved at all? Any luck getting your clubs back? So, not Matthew, no clubs back. Supply chain actually is improving. It's getting better. Okay, so the guys are saying on the stream it's all good. Maybe it's just in here.
Yeah, it's probably just
Yeah, just in here. But as long as it's good with you guys, it's good with us. Supply chain is definitely getting better. One thing we spoke about a little bit, internally at TXG, is supply chain and also getting into the store to get fitted. For the longest time there, post-COVID, we had this obviously build up of demand, and it wasn't good for us that we were making people having to wait 3-4 months. Now it's there's availability in Mississauga this week. I think we just posted about it on Instagram. So guys, if you have been waiting to get in, this is a really, really good time. Even if you're in Toronto and you can travel out to Mississauga, then that's definitely a way to get in a little bit quicker. The fitters are all really good at advising you as to what products are going to still take longer. We have weekly team meetings every Tuesday morning. Our whole team gets together to sort of Nicole leads that to tell everyone what the products are that we're still having issues with the backlogs, and what we can get pretty much readily available. So it has improved a heck of a lot, thankfully. Let's see. Brandon is saying Mizuno is like 2 months behind with certain shafts. Yeah, no, they are. Certain products, I don't know, KBS is an issue. There's some Project X shortages in the marketplace. So, definitely still a little tough out there. But again, not as a sales pitch, but it's one of the reasons it's easier to deal with people like us, because we are pulling shafts from the suppliers and obviously building it up ourselves. So You know, we're not putting out hundreds of sets a day. We're putting out, you know, 6, 7, 8 quality sets a day, and we have those shafts a little bit easier to source.
It's been asked a couple times, but why does shorter driver shaft seem to help so many people? Saw it a couple times.
I mean, I'll probably bat it back. I don't think it.
Yeah, I was
think
going
it
to
does.
say, for me it doesn't.
No.
I find that I actually get a little bit more erratic with it because I'm used to a longer driver. So I think it just depends on the player, and I think it might help some people, might not help others. I think it's one of those things you have to try for yourself and see if it helps you.
Agreed, 100% agreed. I don't think it's necessary. In the same token that longer doesn't also mean you'll hit it further.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, that doesn't. It's not a hard and fast rule. So you know, you just got to try it, and obviously be in an environment or be with a fitter who has enough knowledge to know that you got to go shorter here. This long club isn't working, or this, you know, or vice versa. The short one isn't working. Let's add a little length back to it. Why does Tiger add lead tape to his putter and still come up 4 feet short on every hole? I mean, Tiger is you know, had an incredible record, you know, on links greens at St Andrews, Hoylake, contended at other ones. He nearly won in Carnoustie in 2018. He just got pipped by Molinari, obviously. He does just fine.
He's just rusty. I mean, the guy doesn't play tournament golf. I think saying that earlier, like if I were to go out and play a tournament tomorrow, it would be hard. Speed control on greens when you're a little bit under the gun. It's not an easy thing to do. So.
Totally. That's exactly it. Are we going to see Ian caddy for Mac?
You see that yesterday? Because I was going to play that ECPT event.
Right.
And somebody commented saying, we should
caddy
get
for
Ian
you.
to caddy for me. I'm like, I don't think he can carry my bag for the 12 dozen golf balls I'm going to lose.
One golf ball, that's what we'd be taking. One golf ball.
Yeah, and us looking from the woods for a couple of pinnacles to add to the collection.
Asking for a wee donation at the turn.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we were just talking about that. We're going to be, well, certainly you might be, but I'm definitely going to be in Cabot.
I'm coming to Cabot.
You're coming
I'm not
to
playing
Cabot.
tournaments. I'm coming
No
to Cabot.
tournament golf.
No, we're going to Cabot.
We're going to be in Cabot.
Are our flights booked? Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Let's do it. We're all booked.
I'm there.
We're flying into Sydney. Sydney, Nova Scotia. We've got the shuttle picking us up. We're there 26th, 7th and 8th, 36 a day.
I'm there. I'm not playing tournaments. Forget that noise.
Thing.
Mac, come play Cornwall. I am definitely going to come to Cornwall this year if I'm around. It's the one tournament I try to play every year. A little one-day event. I won it back in the day. It was my first pro win.
Was it
a
really?
one-day pro? Yeah, that was my first pro check actually.
The
It was
Cornwall
at Cornwall Open.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Do you have a righty handicap? No, but I think you should get one.
I was thinking, do you think Golf Canada, this is something that, what's his name did? What's that guy's name? Mac O'Grady. He tried to play, he wanted to enter
scratch.
tournaments as a lefty and a righty and beat two different people. I think I would be high single digit righty on a basic golf course. If I played a golf course that I could kind of spray it and find my golf ball, I could get it done. But I don't practice, so I think if I practiced, I could get down to scratch if I played and practiced.
That's a scary thought.
If I practiced.
You can certainly hit it, that's for sure.
Just gotta get rid of the hosels.
The odd hosler does creep in from time to time.
The odd. It's every other shot.
The odd hosler.
Either flush it or hosel it. It's one, no in between.
You ever tried graphite in your wedges?
I have them now.
What do you have? Oh, the Acros.
Yeah, I have.
So you're the opposite of what everyone is, a shock.
I
You've got graphite in the wedges and steel in the irons. So I would say most people tend to be the other way and tend to have graphite in the irons and steel in the wedges.
Yeah, so I have the iWedge 130s in all my wedges. It's something I tried this year for the first time. I used the graphite in the irons for a while. I think I actually might go back next year. I still do like them, so I don't know. I don't notice a ton of difference, to be honest.
Oh, Mark is coming in firing shots here. Golf is what you play when you're too out of shape to play other sports.
Where did Mark come from?
Mark, what are you doing on here watching this if that's your opinion of golf and golfers?
Mark, go take a lap.
A lap.
Take a lap.
Yeah, Mark. Come on. More positivity in the room,
Yeah,
please.
There's enough negativity on my Instagram.
We don't need that. Mac likes his leggings, and that's all we're saying about those.
Where was it?
Dave's saying, ban Mark.
Is there standard
Not yet,
weight
not yet.
for a graphite wedge shaft? We should get Bear Investing Inc. Would you say there's a standard weight for graphite? I would say it's the same as the steel. It's. I play. I think my wedges are 125. I always like a little bit of weight, but or no, they're 130s. Yeah, 130s. But yeah, I don't think there's a. Would you say weight wise?
No, not standard. Typically, I mean, graphite tends to be the direction we go if someone wants to go a little lighter. So we, say we were in 70 grams or 80 gram graphite, your wedge shafts are in and around that 90 to 100 gram, territory. So we do a lot of Nippon Neo. We do some Modus 105s. We do a lot of that, but. We don't tend to do an awful lot of graphite wedges. We really don't. Tends to be steel, even if you're playing graphite now.
I feel it's an experiment for me. I don't.
Yeah.
It's
Totally.
who knows if it'll stay.
Totally. Oh, there she's back. Naked HD. It's just. I think it's the mullet. I think your mullet brings on the.
Why did I get?
Oh, it's just people like it.
Find a girl for you. Where do I?
I did
where do
not.
I have to send
I did
my
not mean
email?
to put that up on the screen there. That's what I was trying to find.
Where can I send my email?
Oh dear. Jay is saying he played with Rebecca Lee Bentham a couple of weeks ago. He noticed that she had a TXG logo when we talked with the YouTube channel. She was sick.
We were just saying today we
got to get.
might have to reach out while she's home.
Yeah.
She's very good. I spent a winter practicing with Rebecca in Dubai, and she's better than I'd say a lot of. She could be on the LPGA tour. I think she's good enough.
Definitely qualified last year, obviously at
US Open?
Olympic, wasn't it? Olympic
Yeah.
for the US Open. Amazing player,
Yeah, really good player.
great golf swing. I mean, great golf swing.
Yeah,
really
super
just
good.
stripes it. So I think we might need to get Rebecca on the channel
Should.
when we're outdoors. I think that'll make get her on the course, and she can.
We can do a little.
I was going to say, like, would
you and I
match?
versus her. We should do a match.
You should do a match. Let's see.
Me stick her versus her.
That could be pretty good.
I'll get dummied.
Get the boxing gloves out. You too.
Jeez. Yeah, lots of boxing. Yeah.
Oh, that would be good. And then Mikey can be in your bag. I'll be in Rebecca's bag.
How about Mikey's on my team?
That would be funny. Let's do that.
I'm texting her right now.
Okay. If she's in town, we're going to make it happen. How many birdies do you average per round?
I average a lot of birdies and a lot of triples, generally speaking.
Do you know the difference? I think this is a Scott Fawcett stat. What do you think the difference is in birdies per round, or how what's the number of in difference between a bogey golfer and a scratch golfer? How many birdies per round is the difference?
Isn't it very similar?
It's like I think it's less than one.
Yeah,
on a
it's
percentage.
minimum.
It's like basically one.
Scratch players just limit the damage.
Crazy.
Right.
Bogey avoidance is what it's all about.
Take your hat off, Mac. No. I don't want to.
No.
No one needs to see my hair.
Does Mark's asking, does lowering driver loft increase distance? Generally speaking, it will, but not for everyone. But generally speaking, it will give you more ball speed, less spin, generally go a little bit further. Yes, but it can be at the detriment of some other factors as well. So not always just the best thing just to grab an 8 degree and bombs away.
Right. Lowest round. What's your lowest round ever?
7 under.
Okay.
Yeah, not as low as you. I think you'd want
62.
62.
10 under at Wooden Sticks.
So I had interviewed a player at the Open last week, David Carey. You know the name? Irish lad.
Yeah, why do I know that?
Mr. 57.
Oh, jeez.
Shot 57 in a Challenge Tour event in Italy.
57.
57.
Par 71?
No, actually, do you know what? So this is the thing. So par 68.
Okay.
So it was 11 under, but he was saying that I think the next best score that week was like 64.
Holy smokes.
So like he beat everyone by a million miles, but 57.
Just blackout
I
mode.
didn't know that was what he's known as.
That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. I know. Anders is saying there, crazy how overlooked a 65 on Sunday is. Great effort from Cam Young. Yeah, Cam Young played well.
That eagle in the last, worth $555,000, I heard.
Yeah,
Sold a second or
it's a
something.
big drive.
Yeah,
It's a big,
paid
big
off
drive.
for him.
No, he played good. He had 2 bogeys in amongst that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, obviously Cam Smith
He's got a good golf
was bogey
swing.
free. Yeah.
Like his tempo, and it didn't really change. Like I was interested to see him being like a rookie on tour if he
Yeah.
would that like smooth tempo he has would speed up, but it literally was perfect all day.
And did you hear or did you read what his advice is for junior golfers?
No,
Play hockey. That's what he said.
too easy.
Yep, play hockey. Said build up a lot of strength, a lot of good sequence and things like that. He said hockey really helped him with his development.
I just think that all junior golfers can benefit from playing all sports.
Totally.
I think that's
Yeah.
when you're one-dimensional and just golf. I feel like just the hand-eye from other sports, just like the agility, all the stuff that comes with it.
Totally. Let's see. Seen this one from Taylor a couple of times. Ian, can you talk about shaft droop a bit? Does weight and flex affect it, or is it more technique? Yeah, I mean technique will play a factor in it. Obviously, the shaft, the head weight, the forces being applied to the golf club themselves will all play a part. Generally speaking, Taylor, you can't really separate weight and flex. They tend to go together. That's why if you look at a shaft information chart, you'll see, the 50 gram, shaft is considered high launch, mid spin. And then the same shaft model, when you get into 70 gram X, is considered low launch, low spin. More material stiffens up the profile, tends to make the shaft not deflect as much, tends to bring the flight down a little bit. So typically weight does change flex
Right.
as well. But and obviously if we change flex, we change deflection. We don't deflect downward, we don't offend as much, we don't get the shaft to kick out as much, and we also don't get the shaft to kick and lead deflection as much. So the 3 axes that the shaft works on in deflection, that every fitter should be mindful of when they're in a fit. Do they want to change strike point? Do they want to change face to path relationship? Do they want to change dynamic lie angle? The shaft can help you with all of those.
Right. It's a lot. What are your thoughts on Tiger and the Ventus Black?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that he moved when he moved.
Yeah.
He was in that Diamana for a long time. Since it was actually Brooks Koepka that he tried his
Right.
after, I think it was after Carnoustie. He put it in just before the PGA at Bellerive, and obviously played really well, leading to obviously winning the Tour Championship later that year, and then the Masters the following season. So he's not one to change an awful lot of shafts. Tiger will typically play the same shaft for a long time. It's in his sweet spot for his profile though.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit stiffer than his kind of whiteboard profile that he's always done well with. It's obviously just something that he's comfortable with. I thought he drove it good at St Andrews. I know you didn't see too much of it, but he looked like he drove it pretty well. That wasn't the part of his game that wasn't sharp.
Speed control in the greens, wasn't it? That was like his probably biggest thing.
Yeah, he didn't quite have the proximity, down. I mean, starting with a double bogey. I mean,
No,
he was behind the 8 ball early.
Well, didn't he? He was in a divot or something, wasn't he?
Something like that.
Yeah, I heard he even said that it cost him like essentially 5 shots. He said,
Yeah.
that's what he said from that divot.
Yep, and RJMB is asking, will Tiger win another major? I mean, I'm going to say no.
No, not at this
I mean,
point.
I'd love that answer to be yes.
There's too much horsepower, I think, at the rest of the game.
Well, think about it this way. You know, Tiger had the record at St Andrews, or he had the Open Championship record, and it was round St Andrews of 19 under. With 5 holes to go, it looked like 3 guys were going to beat that.
Yeah.
And so he's got the all-time record, and then with a few holes to go, it looks like 3 people are going to beat that. So you end up with Smith, who beats it. Rory, guess what? Did he tie? No. Did he tie? No. Young tied it at 19, and Rory obviously finished 18. But that's incredible to think, you know, that 3 people have literally got it to that number.
Yeah.
And one's got it past.
It would be nice if they made some of the rough out there. Like I know in 16 down
They
the
need to
left,
make
they
it
need
rough.
they need to make that more juicy, because the out of bounds should be in play, and guys aren't even looking at it. They're just ripping it into the long stuff. Hope they don't get a bad lie or a jumper and knock it up there and make 5 at worst, right?
Totally.
It should be a 6 hole if you really hit a bad one.
When the wind was blowing way harder early in the week, I mean, guys were driving up to the front of 17.
Yeah, it's wild.
I mean, that is wild. That's 500
Crazy.
yards, and you know, it's just a runway. Just a runway.
Someone about my putter. The putter I use, there's not many companies that are making that. I don't even, is it even in my bag? It's not even in my bag right now.
What are you using right now? Did
Yeah,
it get banished
my
after
cod.
our last match?
No, it's still in there, but it's out west. I just left it out there. Yeah, they're hard to find now because they're not forgiving. So at all.
For sure. For sure. Was just saw a question there about Cam Smith. There you go. George was saying, thoughts on Cam Smith's Mizuno fly high long irons? I literally just built these recently. Tons of guys had these in the bag at the Open. Absolutely tons. So I popped one of those in there. My 4-iron is hopefully in Atlanta, so I've been without a 4-iron for quite some time. So I actually just built this up prior to the weekend. Feels good. It does feel quite big.
Yeah, it looks chunky.
Yeah, it feels pretty big compared to even the UDI. To be honest, the top line of it looks a little bit thicker than the UDI, but it certainly flies good. One thing, George, I will say about it is it's not overly hot. So I was on GC Quad on our range at the weekend hitting it, and it was like 215, 218. Sometimes with these types of irons you can kind of get the 230 jumpy one from time to time. It did not have that in the locker at all. You would need to hit it hard to get it to go further rather than just hitting it good and then it goes.
It's kind of a good thing.
It's quite a good thing,
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see.
There's a lot.
Smag Smith says he wants tips on staying focused on the back nine. My mind always drifts off.
Grab a hot dog at the turn.
Yep. A beer?
No, food, I'd say a big thing that always helped me when I was playing is making sure you're staying fueled up. Because I think it's something that a lot of people just don't do. They don't eat for 4 hours, and then the back nine they start fading, and mentally you start fading. So for me, I found that just making sure I ate a little bit, kept the brain sharp, helped me for sure.
Have you ever encountered a period, in your playing career where you just could not get off to a good start?
I was always a slow starter. I think it was something that I would normally be a couple over after the first couple would be a normal thing for me, and then kind of just ride the ship and turn it around. But
my scoring average this year in the front nine is, I think, 4 shots worse than the back nine.
wow.
And I need to really sort it out. So back nine scoring's been good all year. Normally, I think actually it might be a little nick under par, but front nine scoring is terrible, and it does not feel like I'm playing. It doesn't feel like a transition into playing all that much better. You know, it can be a couple of putts, it can be a couple of mental errors, but when I tally it up after 9 and I'm like, went out in 39 and then, you know, you come back in 35, 36 or whatever, an under par round has just got away from you just because you got off to that slow start.
It's like the expectations. I think going in with a round, you have these high expectations. The expectations get knocked down right away, and then all of a sudden you're just kind of out there, making the most of it.
Definitely. Saw one there that's definitely worth a little discussion point. There's our pal Rob Coates. Rob is an expert in health, wellness, nutrition. Hydrate. Sodium is your friend. Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell you what, I mean, this is a plug, but it's not an advertising plug. It's BioSteel for me. You know, if I'm struggling with kind of, you know, cognitive, you know, my decision making, BioSteel.
Yeah.
Really does help me a lot. There's a good one. Stephen Robertson. Stephen, my TXG order has been finished as we speak. Best practice to get adjusted to a new bag as quickly as possible. I mean, I think if you can locally, Stephen, you know, get on you know, quad or something like that, and kind of make sure your gapping is as we you know, expect it to be in the fit. I think that's always good. I do that certainly. You know, I know I'm in a very privileged position to have a quad to travel around with, but it's good to just go on from time to time and make sure you've got the right gapping and things like that. But other than that, just get some rounds, get lots of practice rounds, get some time in yourself. I mean, you're someone who can go from bag, you know, one bag to another bag, and it doesn't really phase you, does it?
I think and for me, it's always just hold myself accountable and don't blame the club. So go in there don't try to make the clubs work. Just do your normal thing, and the clubs should perform the way they're supposed to. As soon as you start trying too hard, then thinking that you need to make these adjustments to make your new clubs work, that's when things can go south. So don't change anything. Just go get some reps in with them, play golf, and if you're noticing maybe a couple of clubs aren't doing exactly what you want, maybe that's when go get checked out and see if there's maybe an outlier with why or anything like that.
Totally. How much is a fitting with both of you? Your price is lofty.
You wouldn't want to get fit by me, Noel. I don't know very much about that.
Mac was an excellent fitter for us, but you're not fitting anymore.
No, I think that's, I mean, new stuff. There's only probably a couple things on the wall that, actually probably nothing on the wall.
A few new ones?
No, I guess the VA stuff is here.
Yep. But
other than that, it's all new stuff.
changed,
So I think to be a good fitter, you got to be up to date. I know when I was here, you would always make sure we were staying on top of learning the new specs of things and making sure we knew the in and outs of what we had in the shop, so you could pull the right tools for people. But now I'm out of the loop, so you wouldn't want to get fit by me.
So our fitters are all $400 for a full bag. To do it with myself, it's $1,000. So there is a little bit of a price difference. It's just I don't do that many fits. The boys do most of our fits throughout the week, and I do about 4 or 5 a week. So I'm actually going to be fitting a little bit more over the next little while we've got staff on holiday and things like that. So I'm going to be in the bay a fair bit more over the next couple of months. So if anyone is either on that list or looking to get on the list to be fit by me, info@txg.ca, or if you're just looking to be fit in general by any of our team, info@txg.ca, you'll get some information on there. Jared is at Pacific Dunes. Hello from Pacific Dunes. I'd love to get to Bandon.
Yeah, I played the US Public Links there back in the day.
Oh.
Came dead last. Anyways. A 200k subscriber with Mac Bronze's Tour Edge and hanging up on the wall. Absolutely 0% chance. I have, ever since reshafting it and getting it back, it's been doing amazing things for me. Amazing. Can't beat it.
Has TXG ever fitted a men's PGA Tour player? We have. Gary Woodland. Been a few.
Michael Gligic?
Mike,
You
yeah,
did some
yeah.
stuff
DA
with the league.
Points done some stuff with DA down at Isleworth. Yeah, there's definitely been a few Anders. Rob Coates is hosting a clinic here. Saying taurine and B vitamins help with focus.
There we go.
I need that.
38 degrees in sunny Yorkshire today. I heard that England is just getting hit with a brutal heat wave, and no one has air conditioning over there. So
No one. That's
sorry
the
to hear
thing.
that for you guys.
That is the thing. Well, I mean, I saw. You're gonna chuckle at this. So they put out a severe weather warning back in my hometown. 27 degrees.
What are you guys going to do? All those pasty Scotsmans out there just getting absolutely toasted?
Toasted. There'll be a few red faces.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Srixon drivers? Have you ever hit a Srixon driver?
Just when I fitted here, just to test it out, see how it was when we carried them. Nothing in the last couple of years at all.
Brian, underrated for sure. Underrated. Now we did a little piece at the Open on the Srixon tour trailer with a friend of mine, Jason Buckle, who I used to work with at TaylorMade. And Buckle was saying basically the journey for Srixon is to become more consistent across the face of their drivers. What they are is very good out the middle of their driver, but maybe if you catch on low heel, it might lose a bit of ball, so you might kick up the spin a little bit. If you catch it high toe, you might lose a little spin and kind of get that dive bomber. So that's kind of what they're working towards, a company becoming more consistent.
Right.
But they do make a good one. Super
Before
chat.
10:53.
38 degrees in sunny Yorkshire. That is
Crazy, isn't it?
Should I match my potential new wedge shaft to my current irons? Yeah, I mean, I think you definitely could at that weight category. I mean, you're right up there at the top end of weight at DGS 400. So yeah, that would make perfect sense.
Do you match your 60 degree to your rest of your wedges? What do you
I
in your
soft
lob
step
wedge? You soft step
twice?
the same. Yeah.
So I put 8 iron shafts in my 60.
Yeah, so that could be worth
Yeah.
make it a little softer in the
Soft.
60. I like that soft feel in the 60 as well.
Yeah, it just helps with that nice soft feel. All right, let's do 2.5 more minutes. Let's see what we got. Oh, Mikey and Yeaman are having a scrap, a pre-Cabot scrap.
Is it Mikey and I versus you and Scott when we go to Cabot?
Could be actually a little Scotland versus Canada.
I don't really know if I want Mikey though, to be honest.
You
Can I
two
pick up
follow.
a local?
You two fall out. Yeaman saying my first of many fits was with the big man, ended up with Mikey now.
Sorry for your luck.
I know. No, you're in good hands, Yeaman. You're in good hands. Let's see where we're at. All right. Tim. Any suggestions for a super low torque shaft with a mid kick point? Currently, drivers 3.5 and hit big slices when I go after it. Tim, I don't think that's what you really need. I don't think having to be low torque is kind of at the root of that. I think there's maybe a shaft choice out there that has some of those characteristics, but it has to be paired with lots of other characteristics if big slices are what happens when you go after it. So I'd love just to see you go get fit, go and try and see if you can figure out what combination. You're basically, what you're describing is like a Ventus Blue TR. That's what you're asking for there. So lower torque, kind of mid kick, that type of thing. But really, I don't think that's what you need.
There's chat there.
Super duper, Sam. Thank you very much, Sam. Just lost my job as a club fitter due to a store closing, feeling lost and not sure about what my next step is. Any suggestions? Sam, I mean, just if club fitting is the path that you see yourself on for the rest of your career, just stick at it, stay up to date, stay knowledgeable in terms of what's out there in the marketplace. If you find somewhere locally that you can keep your hand in, some opportunities might come out. You look at companies like ourselves, and you can kind of maybe even partner up with a club locally and just say, listen, I'm an experienced club fitter. You guys obviously have clubs to sell. How about a little partnership? How about we get into it? I'll be your club fitter, and we can profit share on it in some way. Lots of different ways to think about it, but I think ultimately it firstly comes down to, do you want to stay doing what you are currently doing?
Yeah, for sure.
And then the options can roll out from there. Austin, has been a while, my friend. Good to see you, pal. Good to see you indeed. Did you get your shafts pured?
I don't know, do I?
I don't know if Mikey pures your stuff.
I don't know.
Is
Be better.
puring worth it? I know. Scott, I always say yes. Why not address any shaft imperfections rather than run the risk of falling victim of shaft imperfections? That's just the way I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. If you're going to spend all the money on a new set of clubs,
Yeah.
you want to make sure those new set of clubs are leaving all may as well get them as good as they can, right? So
When we sometimes put shafts through the process and we look at the quality control from a line straightness perspective, from a shaft orientation perspective, we do see some flaws, in some shafts that are maybe part of iron sets or whatever. So I would rather know than not know. All my shafts run through the pure machine so that I can know that I'm not, compromising any performance with, just having a rogue shaft in there. No one needs that.
should we do one more?
Yes. Let's see. Guys, give us one more beauty. I'm not seeing anything that's catching my fancy in here. And catch this quick one for Stephen. Which OEM has a loft sleeve that can flatten driver the most? Easy one. Ping. Secret settings. 3 secret settings. If you go with a Ping G425 LST and put it on the flat neutral setting, it will go 3 degrees flat. I think it goes down to 55 degrees, I believe. That's about as flat as any of the OEMs are making a driver. That can really be pretty good if you've got some left misses in there. Anything else catch your eye?
No, I think that's good. That's hot.
Patrick's asking, is Mac playing the ECPC?
No, ECPT event? No, I think I'm
sorry.
going to go to Cabot because that sounds like a way better time, to be honest.
There you go. Sorry, ECPT.
But I am planning on playing a couple events in the fall on the ECPT. I might go to Quebec.
Nice.
Play a couple. I kind of miss the competitive kind of golf scene a bit. So
Yeah, nice to play a little bit of competitive stuff. Also knowing that your life literally does not depend on it. It's not like you're out there, like we both played professionally, and trying to kind of see how far that could take us, and it never worked out that way for either of us, which is fine, but there's a different pressure when you're playing tournament golf week after week, rather than,
yeah, now it's not
how
to
either
put
of us-
food on the table for me anymore. It's it would be to go out and just enjoy myself, B, show that I can still get out there and maybe put up a little bit of a score, because I think for my brand anyways, like people have this thing that I just go out there and like just mess around, hit trick shots and stuff, but I do still like to go out and put up a score once in a while.
Totally. And when the time comes, and if we can possibly pull it off, that we can play a decent amount of golf, get out, because I know people enjoyed the pulpit match and that type of thing. I think people will see that's just the way you play the game.
Yeah, and it's so hard for me to explain it because this is very unique, and I get that, but I think if the people who actually play with me and see it in person know that that's what I'm comfortable doing, and I have an easier time doing that than trying to hit a stock one. So it is what it is, I guess.
Absolutely. All right, guys. that was a good little 55 minutes. That was.
That's,
It flies. It really, really flies. And nice to be back. We did get some content from the Open Championship. We're figuring out where and when and how we're going to kind of filter that in amongst all the other content what we're making. We've got a lot to get through today. Even the rest of today, we're doing Stealth UDI and DHY. We have some golf balls, some new direct-to-consumer golf balls. I always like testing those just to see, how they
different they are.
how they kind of compare to obviously the best in class in the market. We're going to do a little. This is a long overdue one. We're going to do a little Callaway TCB review. We're going to do a little comparison with that with Titleist T100s, Mizuno 223s, Srixon ZX7. Do a little comparison. We have some Epon irons. We have some Proto Concept irons. There's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Loads to get through today.
full day.
Loads to get through. So lots and lots going on. I see there Austin saying 200k soon. 200k very soon. We are this week finalising the 200k giveaway. What that's going to be. So stay tuned for that this week. It'll probably go out on Instagram, and we'll probably the later part this week, and then we'll chat about it on the live this time next week.
Yeah. Awesome.
What's your week? What you got on?
Nothing.
Contenting. Are you playing anywhere?
I might go up to Muskoka
That would be good.
at some point this week.
would
This
be
is my first non-week in a while where I'm just kind of laying low.
Yeah.
I need a little break. I was pretty gassed, so.
It can burn. You can burn pretty fast when you're just going after it and that type of thing. So good for you.
Yeah,
definitely
I
get
need
a little rest.
break.
Charge the
But
batteries.
Cabot next week, I'm
Get ready for
fired up
Cabot.
for that. Yeah.
Tell you what, that's going to be good.
Yeah, it'll be really good.
It'll be good. Okay,
Awesome.
guys. See you soon. Cheers.